Welcome back to our cupcake challenge. This is Jason Secrest, and we have been building a cute little cupcake character, and we are doing this nice and slow and step by step so you guys can follow along at home or in the classroom. So let's just recap what we did at the last video, and I did leave this one alone just so you guys can see it and we can go through that step again, as well as our stroke. So we are going to basically add on our line variation, and then we are going to start moving on into the cleanup, and then we will have a finished line drawing when we are all said and done. So let's just grab all of our cupcake here. That was going to be all of a dark beige, and then what we're looking to do is let's just zoom in. We're going to pretty much finish all of the base here first, and then we'll come back up, add our line variation, and then we'll unite and start cutting stuff away. So that is what we are going to be doing. Let's just grab all of these guys. I'm going to come on over into our stroke panel, and again, anything on that right hand side, just come up under window. So anytime we were using a new panel and you don't know what the icon looks like, you're more than welcome to just come up into window, scroll on down to stroke, and that would be totally acceptable. So under profile, what we are looking to do is click on this with profile. Usually this is default, and I'm just going to click on it, and then I'm going to bump this up to anywhere from 5 or 6, and I'm going to say that is all right. Now you're going to notice, depending on just how it got cut out, that some of them are actually in the right direction and then some of them are in the wrong direction. So what we're going to do, since we grouped these after the shape builder, all we need to do is double click. That is going to enter isolation mode. And so you'll usually be able to tell you're in isolation mode when it grays out like this. And so I'm going to select the ones that have the fat going in towards the middle. All the ones that are pointed are just fine. So I'm just holding down shift, I'm walking all the way around, and then you're going to notice right to the right of that profile, you're going to see this little flip along, and I can just flip those, and then all of those are good to go. So I'm going to click on escape. So anytime you double click and you don't want to be in isolation mode, just click on escape. I'm going to click on our stroke. I'm going to bump this up to right around 5, and then I want to double check that that is going on in the inside. Let me just bump one up just so we can have everything nice and clean and fitting in. Alright, base looks like it's done. I think we are pretty much ready to go into the next step of our cleanup, and this is what we are going to do. I am going to go Control A. We've got a lot of stuff happening right now, so notice that we have some strokes, we've got some brushes, we have blends, we have widths, we have all sorts of stuff, and what we're really looking to do is have those all in shape mode. But I do like keeping this. These are really easy to modify, so like if I wanted to move this, it is much easier to just come back through on a stroke and modify each point than it is once you see what it looks like when we're done. So I always want to save this one. So we are going to duplicate layer 1. I'm going to hide it and then lock it out. We are also done with our anchor point guide. You can hide that as well. And so for this one, I can come in, notice this little button, I can grab all of those. That's going to select everything on that layer. Very good to know, especially as you see more tutorials that we are doing where we separate out each layer. Very helpful. Up at the top, you are going to notice expand appearance. So since I have blends, since I have brushes, those width profiles, you're going to see that we need to finish those first. In case we need to, I'm going to come back down and then just click on expand. Sometimes, if it gives you this little pop-up, that is just a good signal that there was something still in a stroke form that we needed to expand. And look at all those circles that were still kind of hiding back there. So that looks good to me. I'm going to leave that alone, and we're going to clean up all of this brown first. So let's do this real quick. Very easy. Since we are doing cleanup, all I want to do is just go Shift E, and Shift E is your eraser, and I'll just give you a little highlight over on that left hand side. But notice that it is selected, and then I just need to come through and just get rid of that overlapping. So that is kind of the easy version. The only times it gets a little challenging is this type of an area where it is really thin, and I'm trying to hide that within a thin stroke. So that's the only time it gets a little bit tricky. I will give you the other little option. So let's just go Control 0. I'm going to come up to my magic wand, and I'm just going to grab all of the darks. That's what I'm editing right now. I'm going to come into our shape builder, and then again if I hold down Alt I will get that minus. So notice my little cursor, minus, and then I can just get rid of any of that overlapping. So the bigger the overlapping is, the easier it is to locate and then just delete. So notice that, I don't know if you guys can see that. So these are going to be really easy to grab because they're big and fat. And there's this little tiny corner. Let's just grab all those guys. So everything looks good. Notice I have all of the darks selected. So I am going to come up to the top. I am in Pathfinder, and then I'm just going to unite. So notice all those overlaps. Those are all going to disappear. We have some little things happening in the back. For right now, I'm okay with it. All I want to do is get rid of these little guys right here. I could have done it with Shape Builder. The answer is yes, but I'm just going to do a little bit of Shift B, and Shift B is your blob brush, and it's just painting everything in like a paintbrush. So whenever I say blob brush, do not use paintbrush. So paintbrush is in stroke form, and you're going to be coloring, and you're going to just be building up strokes, and we've already gone past that. So blob brush just paints in shapes. So if I go Control 0, just so you can see the difference, so it's a big giant shape that I'm now coloring in, rather than if I use a paintbrush and now I've got a bunch of little strokes hanging out. So that is what we are looking to do. Let's just grab all of our darks. Just need this top shape. So I'm just going to keep clicking on ungroup until I can get all of my darks on that mouth back. Now I can arrange, send it back, and then those highlights will pop back up. Now we've got now it looks nice again. Alright, so I'm going to take our little cupcake, and I am just using the magic wand. And first I want to just come up to the top and unite. Now yours might have already gone through, so some of you might be able to see that these are floaters. So those top shapes, that they didn't go all the way through the top of my shape. So what I want to do is I'm going to make that a compound path. So if yours is all united and it's one big shape, you do not necessarily need to do this step. There really isn't any harm in doing it though. So if I go compound path, sounds complicated, very easy. All it's going to do is it's going to make us be able to cut out all of those little floaters. I am going to grab the top. I am just going to go to edit. I'm going to go copy. I'm going to go edit, paste in front. I'm showing you the longhand version just so you guys can see all of the little steps. And then I'm going to color it garbage green. And then I'm just going to take that garbage green. I'm showing you that I have the duplicate still underneath it. So notice the green is on top. So I'm going to select the cup shape. And then all I want to do is come over and go minus front. And then all of that bottom is going to be nice and clean for us. Alright guys, final save. We are done with cleaning up our character. We have already added on our line variation, and so the next step is going to be finishing up with color. So thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys on the next tutorial.